to the FPLUSA Press Play Podcast. You got two very handsome hosts in maroon. I'm moron number one, aka Bux, and I'm joined by my bestie on the Westie. He's enjoying much warmer weather than I am, and I think he even got the right footy team into the Super Bowl. So I think he's happy about that. Brian, say hello to our lovely listeners.
If you're moron number one, that makes me moron number two in maroon. Well, Bucks, we're staying warm out here, out in California. Everyone else is bunkering down, charging their battery packs, making sure their generators work across the east coast of the states, just getting truck sticked with a big old storm. But I put a jacket on this morning. I put a fleece pullover on for the walk with the baby and the dog this morning. It was like 45 degrees, which is like pretty cold for Santa Barbara. So we're hanging in there.
Wisconsin, your home state, is going to forsake you for saying that.
Oh my goodness.
It's probably like negative 40 there today.
Yeah, I was talking to my parents. It was, I think the weather was like -9 and feels like -24. I'm just like, you're 70 years old. Like, don't leave the house. Just hunker down, turn up the heat. Don't leave the house for a couple days.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, this is a snowstorm special from where I'm at in Brooklyn. But more importantly, for our listeners and for the purposes of this programming, this is a wildcard special.
Let's get
You don't
wild.
need to bury the league. I think you have already hit the button. I think you have already put your first draft together. So, Brian, I know this has kind of been the season from hell, but I am manifesting on your behalf, my brother, that this is going to be the start of the tugboat turning around the cruise ship. All right. We might lose some passengers. They might fall overboard taking too many selfies, but I think the rank rise is going to start in game week 24 and continue maybe for more than 5 seconds. You feel confident also, or less so?
This is one of the funny weeks where I think both of us just didn't set our lineups. Is that what happened this past weekend?
No, I set my lineup when we recorded on Tuesday, but then, there was a lot of action on deadline, kind of the moments before the deadline early on Saturday by me. And with the snow and there was a little bit of sickness in my house, it just wasn't happening. I wasn't waking up. I wasn't changing anything. And I kind of accepted the fate. I did consider moving Foden to Bruno. We talked about that on last episode.
Yep.
But I always figured that even if Haaland got 20 minutes, which he did, he would have a chance to get a haul, and he didn't. So that was, the bee's knees of game week 23 was that a lot of managers scored way low, and us two are not exempt from that.
I mean, you saw it scored me by 15 points. Is this right? I haven't opened the app in a while. 26 points?
Yeah, it's
we're
not
going.
good,
We're going
Brian.
for the golf card game score. Lowest score wins. Holy hell, that's pretty bad. And I even had my Ekitike cap. After seeing a blank from Haaland, and you're like, all right, lineups roll out. It's like, wait, where's Ekitike?
Where's Ekitike? Where's
Hugo?
Hugo?
Piece of shit.
Hugo.
Oh my gosh, what a cluster bleep to move for him and take out Thiago. It's just like, should have kept Thiago the whole season. Stupid.
Yeah, that's true. He's kind of been the Chris Wood of this season, as a shout out to seasons past, aka your best season ever last year. All right, we are going a little crazy here and off the wagon, but you mentioned your score, 26 points. You make any transfers, you roll the transfer. What was your secret to the opposite of success in game week 23?
Oh man, I had one of my good Aussie buddies visiting from Sydney, Australia. So we were out having a good time, had some drinks. We were playing some Mario Party at home once we put the baby to bed, kept it flowing, and then I just forgot about the deadline, forgot about the team. So we had Ekitike cap, Dorgu on the bench, started Krupi Jr., left in Foden, Haaland, and Gordon.
Were you awake? Were you on feeding duty when
definitely not. No.
Okay, so
I need
no
my
harm,
beauty
no
sleep.
foul. You weren't even awake. So
yeah.
I think many managers around the world were kind of caught out by this. And these are the cruel rules of the global FPL game. It really does benefit to be in Europe or at least on kind of that side of the earth for some of these lineup releases at the early morning deadlines, at least where we're sitting in the States. It's basically impossible unless you have a young child or you are an absolute psychopath and are waking up at 4 a.m. just to get on Twitter for a chance, maybe a chance at some leaked information. You agree with that? You think I'm going a little overboard?
No, it's just the way it is. Unless you're a vampire in the US of A, like, I've definitely set my alarm before. When you're having a good season, you're like, all right, like I want to finish top 10K. It's a feather in my cap. I'm going to go for it, and then you have to set some alarms. But yeah, dude, after having the kid, I'm not setting any alarms.
Yeah, and it's like, what's even trustworthy information? All right, I digress. I got 41 points. Still end up on the smallest of red arrows, down 20,000 spots.
10-pointer from Wilson at the death. That looks nice.
Yeah, listen, it was a fine game week. I feel like I made the right moves rolling. Enzo Fernandez gets the penalty. That goes my way. Wilson gets the last minute goal and bonus. That goes my way. And listen, I considered moving the captain's armband from Haaland to Saka when there was reports midweek that Haaland might get rested.
You would have been flying.
You know what that would have gotten me? A fucking extra 2 points. Who cares?
Big old deuce.
We just kind of keep it rolling. Nico O'Reilly, one of the only bright spots from Manchester City in my squad. He gets a clean sheet. I'll take that.
Nice, me too.
I was never playing Dorgu. So again, this is like sour grapes. I'm saying it once again. I was not going to play him away at Arsenal. That was never part of my plan. So those 8 points go begging on my bench. But, like I said, I can't be a hindsight merchant there. He was never in my plan to start. And yeah, it looks pretty silly having, double Arsenal defense when I have Dubravka and Dorgu on my bench. Arsenal at home, the best defense in the league, hard to predict. They were going to have probably their worst game of the season hosting United. So them are the breaks. I think we keep it moving, and we are, optimistic and excited for the game weeks to come, because I think game week 24 is when chips are going to start being used, and really when the season is really the second half of the season is really going to start in earnest. That's my feeling, at least.
Yep, lots of chips flying around, lots of people on Wildcard. We're going to get some more clarity on doubles and blanks and everything else in between. So let's transition. Can't talk. To speak about the manager of the game week in our press play FPLUSA Global League.
Yeah, not everyone sank down into the deep snow or stepped in semi-frozen dog doo-doo.
This guy did the opposite of you, Bux. He started Dubravka and Dorgu. Wow.
I know. Genius. His crystal ball was working. I think he was probably up when the lineup leak came out. So congratulations to the top point scorer in our global mini league. The squad's name is No Mo and Mbo Moo. I kind of love that. 67 points despite taking a -4 hit. So this is a real mega haul of a game week for manager Mikola Grebenensko.
Nailed it.
I smashed that. Yeah.
That was good.
Good me. That was a green hour of a pronunciation. Who'd Mikola have in their squad?
Oh, let's start off. We got a Bowen 12-pointer. We got Thiago captain for a 4-pointer. But then he's got Bumo, Wilson, 10 points a pop. We got Verts, blank. But then Bruno and Enzo. And in the back, starts Dubravka, Dorgu, James. Well done. Lots of points.
Brilliant. And why I said that, Mikola probably got the lineup information is because they benched Haaland. So
straight up bench.
A lot of managers that were able to swerve the robot and move captaincy to a differential, especially one that played for Manchester United, had really good game weeks. Pretty much if you went to any of the heavy hitters, Ekitike, Saka, Gabriel even, you were soggy sorrows like the two of us.
I tell you what, Bux, now is the time for the Manchester United assets to come into teams. Will they let us down? But let's talk about that match. That was the biggest match of the weekend, and
it lived up to the
hype. It lived up to the hype, and very, very much a couple fantastic goals from the talents at United to, seal that 3 points. But they've played the spoil maker a few times here the last couple weeks. So what are you seeing from Carrick in?
Yeah, he's been brilliant. He's I think he's getting to the point where he's consistently getting the best out of this Manchester United team with the interim tag. So maybe they shouldn't overthink it like we both are in the FPL game. Just hire this guy as the full-time coach. I mean, he's levels above where Amarin was with this squad. They haven't signed anyone. All of a sudden, he's just kind of playing their best guys in their best positions. And I want to just say bold play for a couple game weeks in a row now. Carrick has had Mbeumo start up top, and he brings Cunha off the bench for him as kind of a super sub. That has been working brilliantly. And it seems so obvious, like have your best, most fit player lead the line. He's your most clinical goal scorer. Put your actual best player in their best spot, the 10. But I think especially when Mbeumo keeps scoring and keep doing well, for him to be the first name hooked off the starting 11, that's a big call. And Carrick keeps nailing it. So all credit to him. I think he's done a great job. And I think he's going to get that guy to the barbershop, whereas Amarin might have had that guy, in Rapunzel mode.
I mean, you're even giving your young talents like Dorgu and Mainu some minutes. Mainu's been riding the pine for so long this season.
And he looked fantastic.
Him out and about having a stretch. So,
yeah, what do you think Amarin was seeing with him? That's the real question I have, because he's like so much better than Ugarte. It's not even close.
Yeah, Ugarte doesn't fucking run up and down the pitch. That dude's stuck in the mud the whole time.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a Manchester United fan by any means, but it just seemed like Amarin was so inflexible and just would refuse to adapt to play a scheme where his players would thrive. So it's interesting to see. We'll see how long this lasts. But again, like we talked about in the last couple pods, like they're not in any cup competitions. They just have the Premier League to play for. Like they're going to push for, play their best 11 almost every game the rest of the season and try and get in a Champions League. And I mean, when's the last time Man U was in Champions League? Feels like it's been a minute,
long time ago. But credit to them and credit to you, because you shouted this out. I mean, I think the ability to focus and train each and every midweek is huge for them. And especially for a manager like Carrick, who's trying to put his imprint on the squad. I mean, being able to have those training sessions without needing to travel to, whereas like you're going to Azerbaijan, you're going
Bodo
to
Glint, whatever.
Yeah, you're going into the Arctic Circle. Yep. You're playing games in midweek against, the fact that they're already out of the FA and League Cup. It sucks because they won't win trophies. But I think from a growth perspective, this is the kind of perfect situation for a team like them as they look to kind of bed in the new pieces and figure out what that team's going to look like for the next manager and beyond. So I would be very optimistic if I'm a Manchester United fan. And more importantly, for FPL managers, I feel like their attack has almost become essential. They should be like priority on the watch list to get not just Bruno, but maybe also Mbeumo or even Acuna in place. You agree? You feel that way with your chip usage? You're going to tease me.
Last 5 matches, Manchester United has the second best form. 9 points out of the 15. We got some good fixtures coming up. Now's the time. So if you want to double, go for it. You want to keep somebody like Dorgu on your team. He's cheap. Maybe you get some spot minutes. I'm having an interesting time with my wild card, knowing that I'm going to like bench boost like very soon and trying to figure that out. But I'm not really putting much effort into this season. So I am enjoying, rage transferring some guys out. The Anthony Gordons of the world, the Ekatikes. Oh man. Some bad
We'll
picks.
be talking about that Hugo guy soon enough, I think. Let's keep it moving.
You go to the bin is what I call him.
Yeah, let's take the trash out. Let's hit the fast play on the remote, and when we get back to the couch, we'll hit play and we'll preview game week 24. You ready? I'm ready.
I'm back on my ass, so let's preview it.
Oh my god, I'm here. You never left it. That's a big old ass.
Never left it. All right. Anything shoot out to you? I know Chelsea's entering this big run. What are your expectations versus West Ham, who actually picked up a
12
W
points.
recently?
12 at minimum 10 out of the next 12 points they need to take, because after this cupcake run of fixtures, by the time we get into March, right, the fixtures look really cruel for Chelsea. So if they are going to have a chance to qualify based on league form, they need to get the wins in these green pasture of fixtures. And it starts with West Ham at home. I like that. Yum, yum. I think they're going to win.
2-1?
Nah, come on. Clean sheet. 2-0.
Nah. Bowen's up to something. You gotta be careful for this Bowen guy. He's up to something.
I'll say this. I don't fancy Callum Wilson being the guy that breaks my heart next week.
He's somehow been in the points recently, right? Crazy.
Yeah, he has been.
Okay.
Another match.
I mean, are you hold on. Let's talk about Chelsea for another minute. All right. So Palmer is a no-go because he's just I mean, what is the medical staff doing post Club World Cup, and what are his camp saying? Because now he's in a spot where like he probably should have had surgery because he's trying to manage this every other week. But then you got the World Cup around the corner, so he doesn't want to have surgery and miss out on the chance of making the World Cup team. But it's like, if you're England, can you rely on him for any minutes? Like, you don't know. So is it even worth carrying? Like, I'm sure they'll probably fit him into the team, but like, this is a terrible situation for everybody involved.
Brian, the issue is really, coming out of the Club World Cup, it was the longest ever season for a single team in the sports history. They played basically 70 games. It was absolutely insane. And he absolutely he was the best player on the biggest stage in the summer, absolutely making PSG, the champions of Europe, look like the sisters of the poor. I mean, he tore them up. I would use much more vulgar language, but I think my youngest just woke up, so I don't want to curse. But there were some nether regions that were opened to black hole level size, okay? And he had 2 goals. He was at an assist. He was everywhere. He was spectacular. Then to believe that, 4 months, 5 months later, the guy can't even run up and down the pitch, can't even be getting goal. I mean, it's just a sad, and honestly, it's a harrowing tale of bad medical advice. His team was telling him, you can gut it out. You've played through stuff. You're tough. And the medical team was probably like, well, we need you. We need to finish, the coach wants to finish in Champions League. That's the directive from the owners. You don't want to be a flop after spending over £1 billion. It's a terrible situation for a young player with
sad.
Only he's not even scratching the surface, I think, of his actual levels that he can reach in the game. And it's just going to end up being a total wasted season for him, and also more importantly for Chelsea. So it's a really bad situation. I think if I was in your situation, though, Brian, I might fancy risking it. Risk it, give him the armband, because he's either going to play or he's not going to even be in the squad. So it's kind of like, I mean, are you getting that many more exciting moments from Bukayo Saka, who's fit every game week? No, you're not. Guy stinks. He can't score on the same level as Cole Palmer. They're not in the same arena. So I think it's a big risk, and you're not going to know until kind of the lineup comes out, and you're going to be sweating it. But if he starts, he's going to be on penalties. Guy always finds his way into the action.
Yeah.
It's kind of probably the reason a lot of managers are skipping the wild card, right? I mean, I'm skipping the wild card because I don't need Cole Palmer.
Yeah.
Because I don't, I can get
a slander on Saka.
He's having a rough season. The guy's 3 or 4 goals this whole Premier League season. He's supposed to be one of the best players, best English players. Give me a break.
Well, you're pretty happy then that they lost, huh? You'd rather see City win the title than Arsenal, I assume?
No, I would like to see Chelsea win the title.
Okay.
What kind of bullshit is this?
Being realistic, Chelsea's not going to win the title this year. So you'd rather see City lift another one?
I can't tell by my kit right now. I'm rocking up the stadium looking like Unai Emery.
All right. Well, Saka's at least
hold on. I need to put some more olive oil in my hair. We got this.
Olive oil ain't gonna be able to handle those curls.
Yeah, that's true. Unai, whatever Unai is using, it must be like like caterpillar venom.
All right. Other matches that I'm excited for. Liverpool, Newcastle, both teams are floundering a tiny bit, but I'm not sure what's going to happen in that one. In Liverpool's defense versus Bournemouth. This Bournemouth team doesn't have fucking Kluivert. They don't have Semenyo. They don't have Tavernier. And somehow they scrape and claw 3 goals together to pull out the win at the death.
You realize how bad things have gotten for Slot and for the Liverpool team when they're conceding 3 goals to a team of guys that wouldn't even come close to cracking their starting 23-man squad. I mean, that's just how scary days it is right now. Virgil van Dijk he's finished. He's nowhere close to being an elite defender anymore. And then he's surrounded by bums. I mean, Kirkez, that looks like money very badly spent in the summer window. Frimpong, he's a good attacking player. He can't defend for shit. And you just see what happens when, you kind of invest too much in one side of the ball and kind of forget entirely about the other side of the ball. So
meanwhile, who looks really good in their first debut? Mark Gahey. He would be
fantastic.
Very nice
how
addition.
Many teams could use him, right? How many teams not named Man City could really use a Mark Gahey in their team? I think 18 of the other Premier League teams would love to have his services. One quick thing on Liverpool as a rival, I cannot stress this enough. I hope they keep having these convoluted, intense meetings with Slot and keep him. Don't fire him. Do not go get Xavi Alonso, because if they were to make a switch for the manager, I think it would be scary days for the rest of the league. I think this team does have serious talent, and they've just lost the plot. They're not listening to the coach. They're not listening to Verge. It's falling on deaf ears. But if they were to get a new manager bounce, I could see them ripping a run of 6-7 games where they're just putting teams to the sword. So I'm glad they're not doing anything.
All right. We will see. All right, Bucks.
And I think for what it's worth, I think Liverpool win this game. 3-1.
Okay. Yeah, revolving chairs over there at Newcastle. They've been getting some results in the league, but nothing convincing. Never know where the goals are coming from on that team.
Yeah,
either.
True that. So, that's a good point.
All right. Let's jump into my wild card here. Let's do it.
Yeah,
talk about some of the matches.
I haven't seen it. Come on.
All right. Pulling it up on the screen. What do we got here? All right. So I was building this team, and because I am having a terrible season, I just said, YOLO, we're going 8 attackers from 8 different teams. Just to have a little fun with it, No double ups in attack. We're just keeping it fresh. So we got Haaland, Thiago, Krupi Jr. Thiago could be João Pedro, but I don't know. The minutes between some of the midweek football and then UCL, the lap is healthy. I don't know. I just see some rotation there. What do you think on the
lap dance?
Pick? Yeah.
Well, I'll save my 2 cents. I mean, I think this is pretty template looking at it. This is the first time I'm seeing it. So I'll give you the positions. You tell me what your thinking was. Okay. So you get Haaland, Thiago, and Krupi Jr. as your forwards. You have anyone that's just missed the cut other than João Pedro? You tempted by this Mane kid at Wolves or no?
No, I feel like it's helpful to have 2 playing strikers. So, I mean, Brentford have a terrible run of fixtures coming up, but I don't know. You're nailed for 90 minutes. You're on pens. I don't really care.
And he has 15 goals. I mean, he's doing.
Yeah, and I
Lord's
took him
work
out
right now.
I took him out, chased Ekitike points, and I think I captained Ekitike 3 game weeks in a row now.
And you have 7 points, 8 points.
Yeah, like 8 points, I think.
not how you drew it up. Okay,
no,
I really rate this. I mean, I feel like Haaland
6 points.
You have 6 points. Even better. I hate that for you.
Because I think he just didn't play one of the games. I think he was just a full scratch when I captained him. I don't know.
Yeah, anyway, think he wasn't in the squad. All right, so I think here's my take. I think Haaland is a lock. I think he's not going anywhere.
Sure.
increased in price. He's probably going to be your captain most game weeks. I like the Thiago pick. For me, I feel like Krupi Jr., the issue is he is consistently getting that sub right around the 60-minute mark. So I'd be a little nervous to be starting him in certain game weeks. I mean,
Yeah, he's
Wolves
a
away, you're probably going to start him. But
no,
he's not the make or break player in your team.
Yeah, he's a bench asset.
Yeah.
It's just nice
so
that,
I like that
he's 4.5 he plays. Because I want a bench boost next week or the week after. So he's playing. Okay. It's fine. He actually takes some shots. Mane's playing midfielder, so I'm just going with Krupi because
I like it. And
I like him.
Krupi he's a good goal scorer. I compared him the other game week preview to John Duran. He's not quite at that banger level goal scorer, but he's getting goals. He's getting goals. That's important. And Bournemouth sure like to score goals. Let's go to midfield. Yeah. Now I have a little bit of a bone to pick with you here. So we have going from highest price to lowest. We got Bruno Fernandes. We got Morgan Rogers, Declan Rice, Enzo Fernandez, and Harry Wilson.
Yeah, 6 million Harry Wilson.
Ugh. Wow, the 6 million man himself. All right, so I look at this, and I'm not moved, Brian. I have to tell you. It's not moving. I'm not moving. My heart's not skipping a beat.
Yeah,
Aren't we trying to climb rank? This is so boring.
Yeah, you're right. I need to bin Rice and go triple Arsenal defense. That's probably
you need to do something like spicy meatballs, dude. Get the extra chili flakes in there. Put in the hoisin to mix in with the sriracha. Come on.
So
let's do something fun.
I put Bumo in for Rice and then go triple Arsenal defense. Is that the play?
I mean, I'm not. I can't tell you what to do, but I just feel like that's a little more fun, isn't it?
Yeah. No, I'm just enjoying having I have 8 different teams represented in my attackers. So just double ups have not gone well this season.
I have a couple less than 8 kids, but you don't see me bring all of them out to play at one time. It's too much.
All right, who else do you like in midfield? I mean,
yeah, so I love this Rodgers pick. I mean, he's one player that I'm struggling to figure out how I'm going to get to on free transfers. Yep. Him and Harry Wilson are kind of the young men songs of this season. Their XG from the analytics perspective are just not great. I think combined they have 15 goals from a combined 2.4 XG. It's absolutely ridiculous the way that these guys are hauling nearly every game week from very low quality opportunities. But it just shows the caliber of player they are, and more importantly, it shows that they're both the talisman that are nailed for 90 minutes. So I really like that because whenever either of them gets a return, they get bonus points. So, I mean, Rodgers, he's a player I'm going to have to wait on, but he's very much high on my watch list. And then the only reason I think Declan Rice might have a place, and maybe Wilson is the one to go, is one, fixtures and that potential double game week, and just more routes to points. So, when I look at this front 8, I would be tempted to downgrade Thiago, even just to DCL, and get Wilson up to someone closer to 7, maybe 7.5 million. That's my 2 cents on your front 8. But I think a lot of these guys pick themselves and are self-explanatory. Good fixtures, great players, scoring FPL points for fun.
Yeah, I think I'd like to get Bumo in there. I've had good times with Evil Brian. So he's somebody I'm looking at.
And he shares your name, dude. Come on. Golly.
No. He's Evil Brian. He's with a Y, so we don't.
I know, but this season you're Evil Brian also with the way your FPL team's going.
All right, well,
there's no angels on those shoulders, baby.
The current team then has Gabriel, Chalaba, Munoz, Dorgu, and Mukiele in the back line, and then Raya and Dubravka in goal. So double game week 26.
I changed my tune. Yeah, you should take this Munoz guy and shoot him off to Mars with Elon Musk. He's not fit. Crystal Palace stink. They are a team that is they're in the middle of the ocean without a rudder, and they have holes in their sails right now.
Yeah.
So I would be swerving Palace.
I put Gahey in there for a second. Gahey has 5.2 million.
I like that a lot. Yum.
Had him, looking at him. I mean, I could go like
The issue is at City, I don't know if he's going to score as many goals. That's kind of the thing.
yeah, that's fair. I don't know. Usually towards the end of the season, if they get a little healthier, like they go on those like streaks of like, oh, we've kept 4 clean sheets in 5 matches, or like 6 and 8, and like there are a lot of
we
clean
beat
sheets.
the opposition 26-2 in these last 6 matches. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, so I need double game week 26 to be announced to have the triple up on Arsenal. Kind of probably going to have 3 Arsenal assets. You can just leave them. Maybe they get back to their defensive ways soon enough. But yeah, definitely have had Saka for way too long. He hasn't done shit. So I'm like, maybe I'll fit in Rice, get a couple
Brian,
points.
Can you do Raya to Sanchez and Chalobah to Timber? Is that something you have budget for?
Not quite.
It's close though, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely, I would say, like on the watch list, I'm looking at Timber. I'm looking at Gahey. I'm looking at Bumo. A couple other players, here and there, but that's it. Probably
Who's
no Foden.
Like your pick? Who's the guy that like he's on your mind, and if you say him out loud, you'll feel a little crazy, but he's like your guy. You have someone like that in mind?
Nope. I mean, Bruno is captained right now for the full match, so that's cap. I'm not capping Haaland the rest of the season. So
no cap, he says. I like
that's right. I mean, after Ekitike 0 for 3 differential cap, while Haaland blanks his life away, and still I get less points.
Yeah, you can't make this stuff up. I'll just give you my 2 cents if I were on an early wild card.
Who else should I consider? Reece James? What other Chelsea players?
I think you should go. Listen, your rank is not something to be proud of right now, and I know you want to change that. So I would take a couple more big swings. I think maybe instead of Munoz, maybe you go Cash. Maybe you go double Manchester United midfield, like you said. You swerve Rice, you go Mbomo, in that spot, and then you go Timber instead of Munoz, and downgrade like Chalobah to Cash. I don't know. I don't trust the Chelsea defense, even though I'm a diehard Chelsea fan.
No, they got fixtures are amazing. Easy fixtures coming up though. They're going to score some set piece goals in these too. That's the thing. Like Chalobah has a little set piece threat,
and he's great for bonus. So I'm not overstating that, but I also feel like the Chelsea defense is not great. So
we'll bring in DCL. We'll bring in DCL. We're going to bring in Bumo. Okay.
Well, let me tell you my 2 cents for a wild card. If I was wild carding in game week 24,
and then
these are my non-negotiables. Non-negotiables.
We're sorted. We got the new team.
I love it.
Ready to roll. Yeah, perfect. We're at 0.0. We're getting rid of Munoz. We got the triple up in the Arsenal defense. Bumo in for Rice, and then DCL in for the other dude, Thiago.
Yeah, love that.
Done.
Here would be my building blocks of any wild card draft. I would want Haaland. I would want Rodgers. I would want 2 Chelsea, 2 Man United, and 3 Arsenal. Anything beyond that is dealer's choice. But I feel like those, 9 players kind of pick themselves.
Okay. Love it. All right, Bucks. Let's move to our next section, which is FPL community questions. You know what time it is. It's time for the mailbag. Mailbag. Got a couple questions out there in the wild, Bucks. Let's pull them up. We'll go to our feed at FPL
I really like how we did this, Brian.
Press
I feel
play.
like you kept me in a lockbox this preview as I was getting ready. I haven't seen any of the questions, and I haven't seen your wild card draft until just this moment. So
there we go.
Feels good. Feels good to be
You
fresh.
get the full-time job, and then you'll be like, I got to block off my calendar at 5 p.m. No more meetings. We got a pod. All right, first question is from my Cayman fan, a.k.a. Matt, wants to know, how necessary is a Chelsea defender from game week 24 onwards? Rotation plus high XGC stats are concerning. And then he puts on the nerdy glasses emoji face. So you don't trust Bob the Monster Sanchez and the Chelsea defense in these.
If I was on a wild card, I would have at least 1 defender. I would probably sell Raya for Sanchez to get 2 outfield Arsenal players. The issue is just fixtures and the pileup. Chelsea have so many fixtures. Chalobah can't play every 3 days, and if they miss top 8 in UCL, which currently they're in, fingers crossed. If that stays, they will only have 2 midweeks free between now and kind of the next international break in March.
Right.
And it's not a given that they're going to make top 8. They're tied on points with like Barcelona and Man City and all these other really good teams. So again, it's hopeful. They're in the spot right now, but a lot could still change. And if that's the case, we're going to see tons of rotation. I think we'll see Hato instead of Cucurella some matches. We're going to see Badiashile instead of Chalobah. We're going to see Tosin instead of Chalobah. We're going to see Fofana alongside Chalobah. Who the fuck knows? We're going to see all these guys get minutes. And complicating matters further, Chelsea just recalled another one of their loaned out center backs. Anselmino is going to be a Chelsea player for the rest of the season.
How you pronounce that name? I wasn't sure.
Aaron Anselmino. So he's a real big talent. I know they're potentially in for like a ridiculous amount of money for this other French defender from Rennes, Jacques Jacquet. He has a great name. I hope he's as great a footballer if we pay 70 mil for this fucking guy. Golly. And so Rossignol so far.
West Ham, Wolves, Leeds, Burnley. I'm hoping Chalobah starts 3 out of those
3
4.
Three of those.
Yeah. And then you're hoping for 1 goal in those 4 matches. And then
the big issue is I think the Leeds match, right? Leeds the issue is the FDR lies. The FDR is set at the beginning of the season when we don't know anything and it doesn't change. And Leeds is a hard match. They score goals. They're very physical. Chelsea are not very physical. And that West Ham match,
bring Rudiger.
We just saw Bowen.
Bring Rudiger back for some physicality.
Well, it's just like time and place, right? If Chelsea are tired from chasing the FA Cup second leg match against Arsenal, then that some of those games become bogey games. So again, there's a lot of must-win matches for Chelsea over the next 5 or 6 weeks. And the league is important, but also so is Champions League, and so is that semifinal against Arsenal. So that's a way of saying I would be comfortable skipping Chelsea defender. Though I would want Enzo Fernandez. Enzo is a minimum, I think. You want him in.
Okay. All right. Next question is from at FPL Paz.
Ooh, Pazzola.
He's staying warm down there in Miami. He wants to know
he's laughing at us.
Arsenal assets and best 3 United assets. So, Bux, take it away.
Okay, I like this. All right, best 3 Arsenal assets I think is a little easier. Rice, Gabriel, Timber. And let me reframe that. Gabriel, Rice, Timber in that order. Gabriel is the most important. Rice, second most. He has the second most routes to points. He doesn't score as many goals, but he's at the heart of everything Arsenal do. And Timber, he gets chances. He hasn't really been converting as much. It would be him or Raya kind of for that 3rd spot.
Okay.
United, I think, is also pretty straightforward. I would go Dorgu, Mbomo, Bruno. That's in reverse order. I think Bruno is almost a must. There are certain managers who are going to be flying in the overall ranks, and they're going to have Bruno Fernandes as a season-long keeper. He is incredible. I think he's truly a world-class player, even if I once said that he was a rat-faced penalty merchant. I've just grown to accept him. He's a great player. He always plays 90. He's always bitching and moaning to the ref on behalf of his team and on behalf of his teammates. And he does perform. He performs in the big games and the small games. He's a great player.
I mean, he's been through so many evolutions of Manchester United through some really dark times. And I know some people are like, oh, is he going to leave the club? And it's just like, I don't know. I feel like he's the heartbeat of the club. I mean, he's really pulled.
He's the steady hand, baby.
Yep. Yeah.
You want him holding the scalpel when you need to get a goal. You want him holding it.
He's pulled a lot of strings with some bad players in his time, and he's still just out here racking up goals and assists and finding the right buttons to push throughout these matches. I mean, how many returns is he on this season? Not a ton of goals, but 5 goals, 10 assists already in FPL. It's pretty good.
He's 15 goal involvements, bro, and he's missed a couple matches.
Yeah, 3 matches with the hammy. Yep.
Guess how many Saka has? Guess how many Saka has, Brian?
I don't know, probably like 9 assists and 4 goals. 13?
4 goals, 3 assists.
3 assists? That can't be right. For FPL?
Check my work, baby.
What?
FPL? I don't know FPL. I'm talking real life here.
Yeah, let's see. Let's
get out of the fantasy land.
Look it up. 4 goals, 7 assists. So I wasn't too far off.
Close enough. 4 goals, 3 assists. I said it and I meant it.
yeah, Bruno, good pick. Good player, good pick. Just leave him.
Yeah, really
good. Captain this weekend. Hopefully he gets a lucky pen. I'm sure Anderson will do some dark arts shit and fuck about, but we're going to go with that. Yeah. All right. Next question we have from at FPL San Antonio, aka at FPL Dallas. He's been riding the San Antonio Spurs into the sunset. He wants to know, how good is, who is this broad? Xabi Alonso coming into Liverpool as the next Liverpool manager.
Yeah, great. I already said it. Fit? I think it will have an instant impact, the same way Carrick has had mega bounce in caliber of intensity and performance from the Reds. I would be nervous as a rival and someone who's trying to compete with Liverpool that they do make the switch sooner rather than later. I think they're wasting time. They're wasting time, and they're kicking points into the gutter the longer they hold out making the switch.
All right. It's going to be interesting if, to win the title right after slot and then to just get booted out into the cold would be interesting. I'm here for it. Let's see a little bit more drama.
I think that's a little oversimplification, candidly, and I think you could say that last season it was Klopp's team, right? I mean, his fingerprints were all over that team. Slot didn't really need to change anything. He didn't need to put the handbrake on. Everything was already laid out and kind of like, signed, sealed, and delivered. And then Mo Salah had his best season. Verge didn't look like he was, stuck in quicksand and shaking his booty to try and get out. I mean, everything went well last season and everything went right. And then all of a sudden Slot gets his hands on the wheel in the kind of summer transfer window, blows up the solidity of the team. Of course, it doesn't help that one of their, most beloved players dies in tragic fashion. And all of a sudden, kind of everything goes from being jolly and rosy to being, shit and smelling like roses. So I think they just need a change because it's gotten stale and Slot doesn't know how to fix it.
He's got some time left. I feel like if he makes Champions League play, he'll probably keep his slot spot, but we shall see.
Would you have said that at the start of the season? I think everyone was predicting Liverpool were going to have a serious chance of repeating.
Yep, for sure. So we have crazy UCL fixtures on Wednesday. All the teams play at the same time. That's going to be fun. So if you play what's that other game?
I'm nervous, baby.
Fuckle. If you play fantasy UCL, you just whip out the limitless and all those matches are on at the same time. And then after that, for FPL, we should probably get the announcement soon thereafter for double game week 26, where Arsenal might potentially play, I think,
Wolves
and Brentford. Is that how that double's going to be?
I think it's Wolves would play Forest and Arsenal both on the road.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong. And Arsenal will play, or maybe it's Brighton and Arsenal on the road, and then Arsenal will also be on the double for 26.
Yep. So that's pretty important. Be on a triple up for Arsenal, and then that will basically lead into, I think, some blank game weeks in 31 following suit. So we got some FA Cup action. We got some other results that will play into that. So doubles, they're coming. So we're going to have blank game week 31, and then there's going to be like a double in
33 and 36, and I think maybe a small blank in 37 is so kind of the early
cap. Yeah, okay. It's all happening, baby. It's going to be a good time.
Yeah. So again, if you are wildcarding like my co-host Brian is, right, you're going to do it with limited information. going into game week 24. Of course, prices have a chance to really fluctuate in the next couple game weeks if you are going to hold it like I am.
Oh my God. I haven't even looked at what my TV is this season. Last year it was like 100. It was like almost like 108. I think this year I got to be like below 100.
No, you're probably, I mean, I look at your team, you're probably close to maybe 101, 102. You've had a couple of these guys that have gone up, but yeah, you're just not getting the luck.
Oh, it was so nice having 108 million on the wild card.
Oh, I remember we were doing wild card, I think, in the same week, and you were able to fit in, I think, like 3 or 4 heavy hitters, and I had like 2. And I was like, oh my gosh, how do I even fit like defenders into this team?
Yeah, it's funny. All right, Bucks, let's move to our transfer plans and captaincy shouts. We've already gone through my wildcard draft. I will be putting out, something stronger and with more vindication later on in the week. And my captain's going to be Bruno because I'm not captaining Haaland the rest of the season.
All right, I'm going to hold you to that. All right, so you're captaining Bruno.
I'm gonna go over half the season without captaining Haaland. Should be going well, right?
Yeah, that's might be why you're ranked in the 4 millions. Can't make this up. All right,
I've gone rogue.
Yeah, you are captaining Bruno again. You have unlimited free transfers. So Brian is not swearing or promising to anybody that the team that he threw up on the screen during this episode is going to be his final draft, but he will share a semblance of a more put together, finalized team sheet between now and the Saturday morning deadline. Now, switching to me, I have 3 free transfers. I don't know why that stumbled me so. And 2.8 million in the bank. So
2.8 mil.
Yeah, I have a number of spots that I would like to make upgrades in. So the moves I'm eyeing up right now is Foden, Saka, and Hugo Ekitike. Get the fuck out of here. You guys are going straight in the garbage pail. And I'm going to go Bruno, Mbomo, and João Pedro. Now, that means I don't have a triple Arsenal, and I don't have any Arsenal attackers for this Leeds match, which isn't great, if I'm being perfectly honest. But I also feel like taking a -4 hit before I fully
save the wild card.
Yeah, save the wild card. But I just feel like taking a -4 hit right now when Arsenal aren't scoring a lot of free-flowing open play goals. I'm going to bring in Rice ahead of if they double in 26. But if Chelsea double in 26, maybe I don't want to have triple Arsenal, holding me back. So that's just what I'm thinking right now. I feel like getting double Manchester United attack is more important based on their form than getting even a single Arsenal attacker at this point in time. So that's my logic. And I really just feel like João Pedro, if Cole Palmer is out, João Pedro is going to be the one that gets more minutes and more certainty of minutes because he can not only play as the out-and-out number 9, but he can play a little on the 10. Left and a little at the 10. So I think him and Enzo will be my Chelsea cover, and I'll just have to hope that, I didn't throw it all away, not wild carding right now. That's kind of my thought.
I like it. And it puts us through 2 different paths, and you're obviously on the money and way more in the know than I am this season. So let's back yourself and let's finish in the top 100K bucks. You're on pace.
Yeah, I'm 600K right now. So I think that's a good way for us to end because it is a marathon, not a sprint. And despite Brian having a shockingly bad season, right, there's still 4 chips for you to use and doubles and blank game weeks that we're going to know about because we're engaged managers that a lot of managers will forget the deadline for. So just remember, there's still a chance to catch up with your mini league rival. And maybe you're not going to win the FPL game this year and get free tickets out to England. But I'm sure there's still a coworker or friend that you would just aspire to best in a weekend or over the course of the season. So just change your focus to be a little more selfish and be a little more self-serving. And who knows? You could turn around and win the second half league of FPL as kind of a way to play fun and free. So we recommend
find a buddy,
fun.
Find a buddy, go head to head for a beer. It's always a good time. So thank you very much for tuning into at FPL USA Press Play. We'll be back next week. We'll see how my wild card fared and hopefully some more chips to fly soon. Double game weeks ahead. Can't wait. Have a good one.
Caw, caw, fly, fly.